Kaboom.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the AIB Show. This is Amit.
And Dominic.
So, coming to you from a different location today, and you may be hearing some background rough mumbling or a low murmur, if you will. Had some leak issues in the apartments. That's what's going on there. But either way, coming to you from the bedroom and using AirPods. Hopefully, it doesn't sound too trashy. But we're back. We were off last week because Dominic was at another wedding in another state that I didn't expect him to be in. But I was back. What are you shaking? Weren't you at a wedding
We weren't off.
last week? Oh, we had? No, we didn't record on Friday. We're a week later for recording.
No, we're not a week late. Everything is timed perfectly.
Really? No, I kind of changed the schedule to do it today. It was supposed to be next week.
You're actually right. We did have a throwback episode. Yeah.
Bro. Bro, how are you this clueless, man? I was like, guy, I literally rescheduled this week. It was supposed to be last week.
Marty McFly with the time flux capacitor. I'm all confused, man.
With the time flux capacitor? It is just the flux capacitor. It's not the time flux capacitor. Guy, this meant the time flux. Speaking of Marty McFly, did you dress up as Halloween? For Halloween? Did you put on the stupid Friday mask, or did you do something proper?
I did nothing. The best part, but we didn't do anything really. We went to it's crazy. So we went, kids' friends, our friend, our kids are our friends. So we went to their house. Their neighborhood is insane. They lock off a portion of it's a huge neighborhood. Let's say it has like 500 houses.
Mm-hmm.
There's an area, there's different like enclaves. This one has like say 75 houses. That's the only area of the community that trick-or-treating is allowed. They allow no cars. It's the only one. Regin, people had DJs in their front yard, like literal DJs. People had food trucks. Like it was insane. So anyway, my wife dressed up, right? But none of the other adults at the house dressed up.
Hold up. These guys had DJs and they didn't dress up?
Yeah.
So they had DJs on Halloween, they're handing out candy, and nobody dressed up.
Correct.
And your wife
dressed up. The house
we
went to didn't have a DJ, but I'm just saying at that house, nobody dressed up. It was an early vibes. This neighborhood is weird too, but I get it. It starts from 4 to 8, and then 8 it locks off.
Yeah, but again, why was nobody dressing up? I'm confused by this.
The kids were. I don't know why the adults were. Because it was Halloween.
What else do people do in the suburbs? Don't you guys do this?
No, but usually if you go to a Halloween party, then you dress up.
It's on Halloween. There's a DJ. I don't know what else you call it. What is that then? Is that not a Halloween party?
Every year I tell myself I'm gonna go as like Fresh Prince.
Which is what? What does that entail?
It's like when the show first started, he had that hat, he had the Jordan 5s, short shorts, a tank top, all like neon colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
And every year you've not been able to achieve this?
I just forget.
Do you have the apparel?
No, that's what I mean. I forget to get it.
Why not just buy it? That's probably cheaper now anyway. You buy now for next year.
Way too far in advance. Did you dress up?
Always.
As
a next dude from the gym. That's all it was. There was a dude. I was at a Halloween party and I had nothing there.
So costume.
Literally straight up that. Homie wears he wears tights for every workout in the morning. No shirt and just straight up tights. And then he wears a bag, like a kind of like a crocus bag, like one of them kind of things over his shoulder. So literally I was like, I happen to have like one of those from my Trader Joe's Dynamics, and I got the tights from when I used to run, but the tights were like for like cold weather. So man, I was adjusting every time. It was way too warm in them things. And walking around with just the tights was not, I mean, I ain't got no problem with the no shirt, but the tights thing was not so comfortable walking around all evening long. But
so dude rocks just tights to the gym?
I mean, he wears a shirt and then he takes shirt off and then he rocks just tights. Yeah.
Yes.
He's a former dancer, dude, right? So they're like he was a dancer in New York and whatever else. So that's his thing.
You guys played him. There was a guy who only wore tights.
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I did it for Halloween, but I don't have. Can't be rolling around willy nilly, pun intended, to do
exactly.
that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, people. Yeah, it was interesting. But there were some cool costumes, and I saw some stuff that's really doable that I didn't do. Like I could have rocked a proper Marty McFly, You know what I'm saying? Because I have throwback shoes and I have one of the red puffers.
But you don't have the shoes. It's Nike Air Mags. You need.
No, I definitely don't have the shoes.
Yeah.
I don't have the shoes, and I'm not buying the shoes. Obviously, because I have like one pair of Nike shoes, if that. Anyway, so yeah, so I did Halloween. You did Halloween, but you didn't do Halloween. So what do you dress up as? Did you go on Saturday?
I didn't do Halloween. No, I'm not doing it. Not going to a party or anything. This year is just no Halloween.
You didn't do anything.
No.
Interesting. All right. Hold on. What did your wife dress up as?
Something from Wizard of Oz. Scarecrow.
Oh, I was going to say Dorothy. She was like, no, let's go Scarecrow. All right. Interesting. All right. So there's that. What else you got from?
Did you see? I doubt you did, but did you see Kim Kardashian's kids dressed up as?
Oh, gross. Really? Really? Why would you ask me that question?
All right, so they were.
Oh, I didn't even know how many. She's got kids, plural. I didn't know that either. I knew she had the one kid with Kanye.
She has like three or four with Kanye. Maybe one.
Oh, I'm sorry that I don't know about Kim and Kanye's child dynamic. Like I give a crap.
Anyway, dressed up as zombie soccer players, right?
Okay.
There's a controversy,
a controversy
of which he's getting a ton of heat for. If you go on her Instagram and look at the post, people are shredding her, ripping her. So to dress
and it's not because you're trying to make men's wear now. I'd assume that would be the controversy.
No, but she's the sponsor of not the sponsor, the official gear of the NBA now. It's insane. Did you see that?
Hold up.
Her clothing line is the official.
Well, yeah, because she's making men's situations and trying to make the Lululemon for that.
She's the official partner with the NBA.
Wow, did not know that.
So her kids
safely say I will never own a pair of that. Yeah. That's guaranteed.
I mean, it's just like tights.
Nope, no, it's not just tights. It's tights with her endorsement, not tights. I would gladly buy Fabletics, all sponsored by what was his face? Kevin Hart all day long before I go buy anything that has a Kardashian associated. But I digress.
I have a Fabletics t-shirt, and my brother-in-law saw me once. He goes, looked at it. Is it what? Yo, is that Fabletics? I was like, yo, feel nice.
Hold up. The fact that we know the brand, give her the props for this, man. We know the brand, right? Good, bad, or otherwise, it's a known brand. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely ain't buying no Kim Kardashian dynamics. But I digress. You're saying, so what's the heat?
Up as zombie soccer players like Neymar and Messi, right? But to be zombie, they had blood on themselves, cuts, shredded clothes, the jersey shredded. But they got the tattoos that the players have, like the fake on the legs and the arms and everything.
I'm sure she had a proper makeup artist do that.
They're brown, obviously. She's Armenian, Kanye's black. So they're not white, they're not black, they're brown, right? They got haircuts. They're eerily reminiscent of Palestinian kids. Eerily reminiscent of what we're seeing in the death and the bombing in Palestine, of how the kids look. Okay. So she's being shredded for being tone deaf in the moment.
Wow. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse.
I don't agree, because what is Halloween? It's clearly zombie. The kids probably want to be zombies.
Man, first of all.
Let me one more thing. If you look, they have the tattoos of the players. So it's becoming the players who are like zombie version of the players. And as we know, zombie culture and vampire, it's been around forever. That's like a popular thing. So go on.
I'm obviously not a fan of hers, but anybody who's up in arms about this, you're looking to find a problem here, right? Based on what you're telling me, and I do not know, never seen the pictures, won't see the pictures.
No.
You're telling me.
Spend 2 minutes later.
I don't care. No, I cannot have that in my Google search. It cannot pop up in any search that I'm putting. The word Kim and Kardashian will never be in my search, my browser history, ever. I can safely say that it doesn't exist in my browser history, except now that we're talking about it, it's probably going to pop on my phone or something like that, right? With that being said, these are people looking for problems. That's all this is. This is you looking to find a problem with something. Like it. I mean, come on, man. That's just stupidity. This is where like people. I mean, these are the Karens of the world, right? Who just need to have something to fight against on behalf of the people that they probably, and again, I don't know any of this backstory, don't represent. So it's probably some people who don't represent anything or anybody going
That
on
always
there,
happens.
causing a
I
ruckus.
bet you there are people who, like,
Yeah, and that's what bothers me.
regardless.
Not only that, man. Why are you trying to find problems in Halloween? Like, that's just so stupid. Like, there's actual things you can be upset about.
If she's like, we're going as Palestinian kids, yeah, no, it's zombie. She even put that on a
No,
post. Zombie, and the kids have the tattoos of Messi and
stupid.
Ronaldo. Zombie
Stupid.
football players.
Plain and simple stupid. Right? And because her kids are brown, they get the flag for this? Stupid. Even more stupid.
Yeah, but because you realize that if her kids were white and they did it, no one would think they're Palestinian kids. And if the kids were
but
black,
again, because you're not supposed to. Because people, the audience in this situation are stupid. I mean, literally, you're trying to find problems. Like, why are you trying to find problems where problems don't exist? We got enough problems that actually exist. And this one, I don't. This is poor problem. This is ridiculous. Right? But wow. All right.
Did you see?
I'm on her side. I'm never on her side, and I'm actually on her side in this one. It's so weird. Sorry.
You see Taylor Swift costumes or Kelsey kind of?
Did I see?
Yeah.
No, I didn't see a lot of Taylor Swift stuff. Luckily, I think did I see T? No, I think I saw.
Did you just call her T Swift?
Yeah, T Sizzle. Is that the kids are calling her these days?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Is that? Nobody's, is it? I don't know. Either way, I don't know. I didn't see a lot of that. Obviously, there were a lot of Barbie things.
Oh yeah, I saw a ton of Barbie. Even
there's a lot of Barbie, a lot of Ken. Like those are the easy ones. I mean, those are the not easy. Those are the costumes of the day.
Like good Barbie stuff.
Yeah,
like with the box and Mattel and all them things.
Oh damn, like that kind of level. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
I didn't go. I saw pictures. I don't go to the office.
You didn't go for your office Halloween party?
No. Our office.
Do you actually have a job? Like, are you collecting a paycheck? Do you work there? You know what I'm saying? I feel like you don't work there at all, dog. I don't think they think you work there either. I think that you show up every now and then. They're like, hold up, somebody sits at this desk for real? Yeah, and then you get upset they don't give you an office. Anyway. What else you got?
On a more somber note.
Sam Bankman-Fried?
Who?
Are you serious? You say who to Sam Bankman-Fried? You know Kim Kardashian?
Sam yeah. No. I didn't.
I was like, oh, sorry.
I didn't know he's free. No wonder I'm seeing him on my timeline.
Hold up. You know about Kim Kardashian news about her dumb kid? You know, like this guy's who's up for sentencing?
No wonder I'm seeing him on the timeline.
It was like 5 hours for the jury to deliberate. He's guilty on all counts, and he's up for like literally 100-odd years in prison.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, sentencing hasn't happened yet.
Oh, so he's not free.
He hasn't been free. He's been in jail.
I thought you just said that.
No, that's his name, douchebag. His last name is Fried. He's not free. Guy. Come on, man.
You have to articulate properly.
It's my fault. I said the man 3 names, and that's on you? Come on, bro. Be better than this, man. Oh, man. Get out of...
I thought you were saying Sam Bankman-Fried, like set the man free.
Oh, my God. Come on, man. You do know his name, right?
I thought his name was Sam Bankman. I did not know the hyphenated
You didn't know there was 3 names?
No, I had no idea.
Bro, they gave him an acronym for a name. Like, they've been saying SBF all the time.
Yeah, I mean, no. Never knew that.
Wow. But you know all about the 4 names for Kardashian's kids. What are Kim's kids' names? I bet you know their names.
Yeah, I know one.
You see this?
What's Kanye's last name? Do you know?
It's not West?
Yes. Do you know what one of the kids?
Oh, it was like North or some other dumb stuff like that, right? Yeah, I remember that back in the day.
Yes.
No, you have to break it down, and I'm guessing because you gave me the compass direction.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Compass direction.
But okay, I digress. You were saying something, and I cut you off. Sorry. You were saying on a somber note.
Yeah. Rise of anti-Semitism. You know, we talked 2 episodes ago, I guess, about the conflict. Israel Palestine, and sadly, independent of Hamas, with their attack, the counterattack by the government, IDF, and everything. Before this, we'd been seeing a rise of anti-Semitism, which is peculiar because it isn't peculiar in the sense that, you know, throughout history there's been gross and disgusting anti-Semitism, which of course ultimately led to the biggest genocide we know. but it's been an uptick, right? And now we're seeing a tremendous rise, so much so that it's instilling fear in people who have never had fear, never, right? Like even including my wife, walking the mall with my daughter, and she was talking
In the part of Florida you live in?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's I mean, that's like saying in the anywhere, anything. It's 2023. Forget this anti-Semitism. Anything can happen anywhere. As a reminder, the part of Florida I live in, the same mall that you know, right? 5 years ago, there was somebody who was raping women in that parking lot, capturing them and raping them in what's supposed to be the like nicest mall or second nicest mall in the state, right? So things happen.
That's macabre. I did not know that.
Yeah. So if you go to that mall now, they have security and they'll take you out on a golf cart to your car even during the day, let alone at night for women, because of what was happening. Because they couldn't catch the person else, so they did. Anyway, the sad thing is what's going on here is so blatantly obvious it would happen, right or wrong, with the counterattack and the killing of all the innocent Palestinians. We know anti-Semitism Semitism is going to rise and has risen. And now, unfortunately, it's going to be to an even more disgusting level. And it's just, I just wonder about the leaders of the world and the thought process, and if things are intentional or if people are just this dumb. Like, what do we think would happen if the ultimate goal is to protect ourselves? And I'm saying ourselves as if I was Israeli. If our ultimate goal is to protect ourselves, this emotional response, immediate response that happened. And again, I always say, just like death penalty, public policy should never be based on emotions. And the immediate counterattack and killing of all these innocent people cannot have been just strategic. And do you know why? Because if Hamas was hiding out in Tel Aviv and using people as pawns, like they're using their own Palestinians as pawns, they wouldn't have been bombed in Tel Aviv, right? So it's an emotional response to just kill, kill, kill with the goal of eradicating Hamas, which needs to be done. But with that comes these dire ramifications where not only are you going to have easy fodder for Hamas to indoctrinate the youth now, it's the only winner in this is Hamas. It's the easiest thing now, because if you're a child whose brain hasn't been formed, thoughts have been formed, and you've lost your parents or your friends in your house, you've seen death and destruction, and you're being told it's the quote evil Jews, right? It's the easiest thing to indoctrinate these kids with, because who is killing you? There's only one group of people that's killing you. So you hate them. And in addition to that, you have people around the world. You're always going to have hate, like hate of anything, right? Who just been indoctrinated to hate Jews, KKK, Nazis, whatever, right? But now you have this, it just feeds into the rhetoric. And then you have the just dumbasses who will spray swastikas or say F Jews. You know, we're seeing that coming around in America now more so than before. And it's just sad because this is just going to get worse. And it's not deserving, but it's obvious that the actions now,
this is the repercussion,
by themselves are going to make it worse for them.
Well, the version, this is what happened with the U.S., right? Like literally when the U.S. what U.S. has done in that region in the past has also created many people who hate the West.
Yes.
Same dynamic, right? Now,
you're perfectly said, because I tell people this, like same with, you look at 9/11 or things, it's created, it's created this.
It creates, and these are factions that, to your point, you get rid of General A, but then there's kid coming along who's only seeing this negativity, and then all of a sudden that he becomes General F by the time he comes up there, right?
Yeah,
There's
General A
always somebody
now.
to
Where
take
did
over.
General
Yeah,
A now come from? They were
correct.
kids.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm thank you for keeping your phone off. By the way, I appreciate that while we're recording. Um, at least you know it's your phone this time too, which is also good. Uh, no, it's summer in that situation, right? On a tangent, we're talking about that region. Like I've been hearing more and more about because whatchamacallit, Saudi Arabia got awarded the World Cup in what's it 2030 whatever.
2034. They were the only
Okay,
ones to bid.
yeah, but there's also a whole thing behind that too, because right, like the one right before it is in 3 different continents, so by default you cannot have a repeat in any one of those continents, which made
Yeah.
it even easier. It was a bunch of stuff that kind of led the way to this,
No, I think it was two
but
continents because it was Africa, it was Portugal, Spain, and Morocco, maybe. So 2 continents.
then there's something else that's going on in the
No, but then,
U.S.
but the
This one is
in between, it's on our side of the world. I don't know why South America couldn't have had it, but yeah, by default, it had to be like Asia and Oceanic, and Australia
yeah,
backed out, and
correct.
Qatar already had it,
Yeah,
right?
so it became Saudi.
So yeah,
Um, but it's funny because everybody's like, oh, so how do I say this? I keep hearing more and more about this money washing business, right? And Saudis, in essence, washing their money and building up more and more quote unquote Western credibility by hosting events, sporting events, or buying into sporting dynamics, whether it be live golf, whether it be football, whether it be whatever, right? There's even talk and the expectation that there will be a Saudi owned basketball, football team, et cetera, is right around the corner. Like people are saying it, they've loosely alluded to the fact that, these options are not quote unquote off the table. But what gets me is this whole morality police around it. And we've talked about this before. Like I hate selective morality, right? And this is so foolish in its moralistic dynamics because you can bring up Khashoggi, you can bring up the way they treat women, etc. But in doing so, without looking at what's happening here in the U.S., is so comedically flawed as a judgment call, right? Because and to say that because they have money they get whatever they want, guy, are you not? This is America. Because we have money, we get whatever we want, right? As a country, right? In this dynamic, it is literally the same thing. So do I not or care that Saudi gets it? No. And do I think that, by the way, do I think the majority of the audience cares, i.e. anybody watching these sports? No. Do I think people
we
have
went
to
through
make
that. We discussed that with World Cup
when it happened, but I don't care, right? Qatar, oh my God, Qatar, look at all their human rights violations, whatever. Ain't nobody care. The general majority doesn't give a crap, right? And nor would they ever give a crap. Out of sight, out of mind. I say it all the time. It doesn't affect you, doesn't affect you at all. You don't care. That's just the way the world works. But I don't like the idea that people are calling this the whitewashing of whatever without
they call it sports washing.
Sport washing, sorry. Without looking at yourself. And yourself could be Europe, could anybody in the West, literally. And what was funny was I was Amin El Hassan, right, who's on the Levy show and whatever, he's got his own show. He brought this thing up where they're talking about this, and I literally heard it a couple of minutes ago, which is why it's fresh in my mind. He was like, they were talking about this and talking about sports watching with Saudi. It's like, oh my God. Somebody was like, oh, they're up in arms. And he goes, I don't get you guys, man. It's just straight capitalism. It's what you guys preach. It's America. Straight capitalism. Right? And like, yeah, but X, Y, and Z happened in Saudi and the Jamal Khashoggi and this, that, or whatever. Right? And blah, blah. And he goes, man, if the Sudan had the money Saudi had, y'all wouldn't give a crap either. But anybody care about Sudan right now? You know what I'm saying? It's obvious that we're all financially driven this way, and it annoys me when people try to act holier than thou. No, but we always to put on this morality. So his whole thing was you cannot be the moralistic country and the capitalistic country at the same time. It just doesn't work. You cannot be both. It's just a harsh reality.
I think there's a hybrid. I think it will never happen.
What? You'll never, which means if it's never going to happen, guy, it doesn't exist.
No, but it doesn't happen because the essence of capitalism takes over it. But it doesn't happen.
That's my point.
No, but you can be a moralistically capitalistic society or company or anything like that.
No,
when
bro.
When you have powers that be and the individuals are seeking, the problem is if individuals are seeking capitalism over morality because of human nature. Okay, but that's why it doesn't happen.
My point. You're talking about a utopia.
If I was in charge.
you're talking about a utopia, which we know doesn't exist and cannot exist because of everything we're talking about, people's general selfishness. So could be is fine. I could be a millionaire. I am not. Right? So we're not talking about the goods. You feel me?
Could be 6 foot tall.
But I'm not. Actually, I can't be 6 foot tall. That's not on me. That's not on me.
No, they have those leg lengthening things. You seen that? That's insane.
Yeah, but it's not giving me feet, guy. I'm not like, it's like I'm 5'10", brother. You feel me?
No, I think this guy added like 6 inches.
Bro, you can imagine what that does for I'm going to have the longest femur in the world and like the shortest torso. Yeah, no, ridiculous. What else you got?
Department of Justice may be going.
Oh yeah, I don't understand this one. Help me. Yeah.
So
apparently you've been stealing money from people like myself, and they're trying to get the money back. Is that what this is?
So real estate commissions on a house, and for me in commercial real estate, but let's just talk about residential. Typically 5 to 6% are commissions, and can be split between the realtors involved. But there was a lawsuit in Maryland that went after and saying this is not, just dumbing it down, not fair, and driving up prices of houses, right? Not collusion, but it's driving up prices of houses unnecessarily because that has to be baked in. So if you're selling a house and you want to net 100K, you've got to raise the price to offset the commissions. And I'm reading articles that these commissions of 5 and 6% are a pretty American thing, and that's common worldwide. I don't know if that's true, but in Jamaica, it's the same.
Yeah, but Jamaica generally follows the U.S. model for 99% of things, minus measurements, minus driving on the side of the road. Yeah. But beyond that, yeah. But other first world countries, yeah. But the comparison is probably against other first world countries. Okay, UK versus the US. Is it the same dynamic there? Do you know?
Yeah, I don't know. But okay. I'm trying to find the logic in why this is wrong. And I'm not one who says, like, I'll say this has always been the way it is. That doesn't mean it's right. Right? When I say it's always been like this. But I don't see what's wrong with it. So what they're basically trying to do is there's talks about eliminating commissions. Then what are realtors and brokers working for?
Okay, hold up.
They put a lot of work into some. Listen, it's like any commission-based thing. Everything balances out, right? Some deals you don't do much at all, and you make a killing. Other deals you work your ass off, and guess what? In my job, you know how many deals don't go through that I spend hours upon hours on? So it all balances out, and that's kind of the basis for it. And we spend marketing dollars and time, which we don't get paid for. So a flat fee is not going to cut it.
But, okay, and pardon my ignorance here. These are a realtor versus broker. Enlighten me.
Okay, so I'll clarify. So, and that's also a weird word. So realtor is simply, people don't realize it. It's not like Xerox and Kleenex where it's a general. Realtor is simply a real estate salesperson who has paid a fee to the National Association of Realtors to be designated as a realtor.
If I'm buying a house, am I going to a realtor or a broker?
No. So the broker owns the real estate firm. They have their license and they own it. So you're going to a salesperson. I'm just throwing out a number. It's 99% of salespeople in the residential section in America are realtors. They pay an annual
work for a broker.
Yes, they pay an. Now in commercial, on my side, it's weird. We all call ourselves brokers. We don't call ourselves realtors or salespeople. Like I'm a broker, even though I don't have a broker's license. That's weird.
So if I'm buying a house from Dominic the realtor, who works for Gopal the broker, you get a percentage and your broker gets a percentage?
Yeah, you split it.
So there's 6% that goes between both of
you. Technically, the broker gets everything legally.
And they'll give you a piece.
Yes, you're not allowed to. The broker's license.
Okay, so there's one fee, is my point. It's not, I'm not paying you a fee, and I'm paying one fee, the 6%, which covers
and if you list your house,
sale.
You agree to a fee, and then that broker who's getting the fee has to split it with the buyer's realtor.
Hold up. So the sales, if I'm selling the property.
You're selling the house, and you agree, okay, realtor Dominic, I'm going to give you 6% of the sales price.
Gotcha.
Right? Realtor Dominic.
So 100K, I'm giving you 6%.
Yes.
Okay.
But if John comes and buys the house, I have to split my commission with John.
and you got to split your commission with the realtor who works for you. So that 6%, you got to pay the dude to work for you, or one person to work for you, and you got to pay the other broker out of that 6%.
Yes.
What's percent split there? Or is it vary per
It's
sale?
usually 50, but it all depends.
So 50-50?
Yeah.
Oh, because they brought somebody to the table, I guess. That's how that works.
Yeah. Now, sometimes, especially in commercial, switch will be like 4%, 2%. It gets tricky, but 50-50 is a general. So, but my point is, I don't see anything wrong with this because realtors are putting in a lot of time and they're adding value. They are adding value. Now, occasionally they don't have to do crap and it just sells, and you're like, oh my God, they made all this money. You know, about $20 million house, but
yeah, but that's
what happens in larger budgets too. At least in commercial, I know my real estate. I mean, residential. When you get to those larger segments, if you will, those price points, those commission percentages diminish because 6% of a $50 million deal. You know, it's
but I think
compared to what they're doing.
I think to your point, there's a flawed thought process of, hey, this person didn't do anything for this and got paid Y versus this person did a lot and got paid, X. Because I mean, the reality is, like, if you go, hey, you're a great writer, write me a log line, and it takes you 2 minutes. It goes, it took you 2 minutes. It's not worth this kind of money. Meanwhile, the years and years and years and years that took practice to get to me being able to give it to you in 2 minutes, there's value in all of that. The fact that I give it to you quickly does not mean it is not worth the time. It means that I honed my skill for that long, right? And I think there's a lot of industries like this which get people look at the time put in on a per project basis, but they're not accounting for what it takes to get to this
100%,
level, who you know to call, what you know to do, how you can negotiate, etc.
Was their value done? Was their value provided? Yeah. So it's
well, now is it? But they lost this case, right? They lost this case.
I don't know what's going on in Maryland, but there's talks about the DOJ doing it on a federal level.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because if they lost this case, what was the
meaning the realtors got screwed?
That's what I'm saying. They own the realtors now owe however millions of dollars. But what was?
I don't know the base. I googled it this morning. I couldn't find any documentation of the case or anything. Just like
just hey, there's I think like 1.6 billion, so it's a lot of money or whatever it was. But I was like, I didn't know what the decision was that led to that. But all right, that's unfortunate.
One other thing with back to Israel Palestine real quick, these posters are that are going up in the U.S. Of like illustrating the people who are kidnapped by Hamas, the people ripping them down. 2, I don't know if you saw, there was a Miami woman. I was crying, laughing, started cussing. She goes around ripping these posters down. It's those things like on.
I saw a little bit of that, but I didn't watch it. Yeah, what happened there?
Where you have
somebody missing. Yes.
Yeah, or not even that. Like the ones that say like want guitar lessons, rip off this little piece, right? So she starts ripping all the posters, paper. They call them posters. It's really just a paper printout in color of the kidnapped people. And whoever put them up purposely put razors in them to prevent people from pulling them down.
Yo,
this woman got sliced up.
I'm not laughing about that, bro. No, but I am laughing about
that because why are you wasting any second of your time doing this? Now, when I'm not
but hold up.
I was told that it's not right because actual city employees sometimes have to go around taking them down because technically nothing's supposed to be up. But you see posters for a party or an album or guitar lessons or nothing's supposed to be up. So it's dangerous to them. So it's wrong. But I'm laughing at the karma of this woman who's going around. But and then she's talking about who are the real terrorists? Look what they did to me.
What was her claim? Like, why was she taking them down? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, what was why did she want to, like, why was this her cross to die on?
She's saying Israelis are the terrorists and shouldn't be doing this. They got what they deserve, blah, blah, blah. There's also, you see, there was a Miami dentist who got fired.
Did not.
He took them down. He got caught on camera taking them down. He claimed, and there's documentation that before taking them down, he called the police, right? There's documentation. And said he fears, this is after maybe it was in Chicago, an old guy stabbed a Palestinian kid to death.
Yeah, I saw that.
6-year-old boy, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
I think maybe his parents too, but stabbed a 6-year-old boy.
Yeah.
This guy called the police and said, I fear that these posters are going to cause more Islamophobia, right? because the posters, they do trigger the fact that, hey, these were kidnapped people. So the police told them, go take them down, right? If you feel this is a problem, we can't do that. So he was caught taking them
we
down.
can't do, the police can't do that?
Bro, the police got a lot more issues to do. What are you going to call 911, take down a poster?
No, but you can call, the police can call whoever the public person's job
really,
is.
Bro, really? No. You know this already. Right?
I don't think it should be, hey, Citizen Joe, go do this. I wouldn't do that either. I don't think it's on that person either.
So the guy got fired. So now I just don't know. I wonder if that was his genuine, because there's a video out there and I want to watch his body language of taking it down. Right?
Bro, don't all of a sudden you're a body language expert. Come on, man. Do better than that. All of a sudden, this guy's studied years and years of body language antics.
Yeah, I'm an expert.
Yes, yeah.
So, but no, so you have people ripping down all these posters.
Yeah.
Putting up the posters are obviously symbolic, right? Because we're not going to find them. Find the people is what I'm saying. So pinning them up in America.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Right? Oh, yeah. I'm with you. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so there's a lot of that going on, but again, woman got slashed.
Bro, it's going to be a really interesting. It's not even the right word, but really difficult is probably the better word. Like I would say next year, because this thing is going to go on for a minute. This thing is not going to end. Even whatever's happening on both, it's going to be rough for both sides. And you're seeing right now a lot of pro-Palestinian marches, things of that nature, right, in schools and public squares, etc. Then you're seeing obviously on the same side on the Jewish side as well, with billboards, etc., and a lot of things. And you're gonna have, and because of the elections and politics, it's going to be a really weird, bad situation for both sides in this dynamic, because you're going to have people who just want to get what they want to get out of it, right? And I'm really, really concerned about what this is going to bring. And to your point, I'm concerned about the violence that could be triggered because of these things, especially in cities that have, I shouldn't say especially, forget where. There's going to be a lot of myopic people who will commit violent acts, and I expect this to cause problems going forward. And that's really, really, really bad. So that's actually my overall concern. It's like I feel like it's one of these things that does trickle home, does whatever, but the violent part is what gets me.
Yeah.
Right. Like that part's going to be problematic, and I'm legit concerned on both sides. Right. Like I have Israeli friends who said they generally, to your point, feel unsafe here right now in Miami. Right. And that's shocking to me. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, what? Like, it's shocking to me that we're at this age in life where somebody could feel unsafe here in the situation. Yeah, and I also know on the same side a bunch of Muslim friends, right? And I'm not even specifically Palestinians, Muslims in general, because there's a lot of ignorance who group everything together, as we all know, right?
2 billion.
Yeah, and they've been forever feeling that way as well, right? Across the board. And then you've got, and people want people.
I mean, remember the old joke after 9/11, right?
I don't know this.
Black people are like, whoo. Now we're not at
in
the
that
bottom.
situation, yeah. No, I mean, bro, like I'm one of the lucky few, if you want to call it that, of brown people, because I'm light skinned brown. So because I'm nondescript, I get away with. I don't get the
remember
the fire.
Dre thought you were Jewish.
He thought I was white.
Or white. Okay, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
He thought I was white, which is also problematic to Dre. Man, be better, son.
Yeah, I feel like somebody.
No. My name is Amit. It is also an Israeli name, which is why I get that in certain areas. So the Jewish part I do get, right? I get that a lot of times in LA. I've got it in New York when I lived there, and so on and so forth, right? Like I won't get. My point is, I'm lucky in the sense that I'm a nondescript brown person. But if you happen to be pigmented in a certain way, it could affect your dynamic completely differently, especially depending on where you live.
I'm like, my kids are white passing, especially my son. Straight up.
Hold up. Is that the term nowadays? White passing?
Yeah, he's not all white, but yeah, you look at him, you think he's 100% white.
Yeah.
Your
kid's white, son.
Now he's
not white passing. Your kid is white, son.
He's in a corner in basketball. Like I seen the other day, and I hear him going, like waiting for somebody to come guard him. He's got the ball, and I hear him go, mostly white boy in the corner, can't stop me.
Oh, he said that?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Mostly white boy in the corner.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Does everybody yelling to shoot the ball all the time?
Huh?
Does everybody think he's a shooter all the time because he's white as well? It's like, oh, just shoot.
Yeah,
and he's a shooter, so it's good for him. But yeah, it's kind of comedic.
Then I heard him go, almost light-skinned boy in the corner. Almost light-skinned. Idiot.
I mean, does your daughter make the same kind of jokes? That's pretty witty. I give him props, man. That's pretty witty. Good on him.
No.
That's pretty comedic. Yeah, I don't know what else I had for today. By the way, I was trying to think.
Last thing was Joseph Emerson a couple weeks ago. He was the off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot who went berserk on the plane.
Oh yeah.
So he was in. I didn't realize they had jump seats in the cockpit. So like, if you're a pilot,
are you serious?
I had no idea.
Yeah, there's some extra seats. Yeah. Bro, did you never go on a plane when you were a kid in the cockpit when planes were flying? Like back before problems were happening in the world of planes?
I don't remember an extra seat.
Yeah, there's that. I've been in you had the pilot, co-pilot, these little seat in the back, the jump seat.
Like he was in the jump seat, and he claims he had a mental issue and tried to shut down the plane. He's been charged with 83 counts of murder.
Yeah, hold up. Claims is, I mean, definitely had a mental issue trying to do that.
He
period.
He was depressed for months and had some mushrooms and psychedelics, and it just messed him up.
But normally, if you're rocking the jump seat, you are going to another airport on that plane as a taxi, for lack of a better words. You can fly back or fly to wherever.
That would have been even scarier. Jesus.
Well, that's my point, right? That's normally it's not just, hey, I need a ride to Miami to jump in the seat
for the weekend.
Yeah, it's not that. Like, you're wearing a uniform of the whole nine, which when you get put on these planes to do that, like that's generally the purpose. Right? So that's a whole different dynamic there. So that's crazy. This dude even had that. Oh yeah. Last thing, we're talking about planes. So I mentioned on a plane fairly frequently. So United Airways is trying this new thing, right? To speed up the boarding process, right? So they're going to try and board. And by the way, there've been studies and studies and studies on how to do this, right?
There's a
and quite frankly,
on YouTube, I started watching. I'm gonna send it to you
about boarding etiquette situations.
It's a really intriguing thing, but keep going.
So they want to board window first, back to front, right? Assuming that would then, make your life a lot easier.
What if you're traveling with somebody? You get split up?
So this is my issue, right? So that's one problem, right? It's like, do we have to prove that the person next to you is also part of your party, therefore he or she can board with you, right? I don't know. Secondarily, what that means is if you're in the aisle and I'm an aisle man, I'm going to have no overhead compartment situation because I'm an aisle man sitting at the front. You feel me? So I'm going to have no place to put my bag when I get on board, and that's not fun for me, right? So there's a dynamic there that I don't think would work in practical terms, right? Like right now, airlines have boarding groups, and the boarding groups aren't supposed to quote unquote expedite the boarding process. To some level they are, but more so than that, they're supposed to give favoritism. If you fly us a lot, we make your life a lot easier. You can get on the plane, get your overhead compartment, etc. So it's an incentive for you to fly them a lot, right? This where you're group 1 versus group 9, and you ain't getting none in group 9, probably sit in the middle as well, right? Versus group 1, you probably won't get charged for your seat, etc. Right? So the incentive is for you to fly the airline a lot. It's part of the benefit of being a frequent flyer. So doing this boarding thing. And by the way, I think doing that, it saves like 2 minutes.
Yeah, they guess 2 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's completely pointless is my point. Like there's zero value for your long-term customers. They lose because if you go ahead and board them first, then you've negated the whole process. You know what I'm saying? There's no value for your long-term customers. So why would they sign up for this? And if they lose overhead compartment space and whatever else, and I got to check my luggage, I don't do that either. Like there's no value for them at all.
Value for who?
The patron,
right?
The person who flies regular.
That's not what's under concern. It's value for the
2 minutes if they want the money. Yeah, but if I don't have any value, why am I going to fly you, guy? I'll go fly your neighboring airline who's giving me value for being a frequent flyer, for being a loyal customer. You want loyal customer more than anything else. That's the thing. Customer acquisition, crazy cost. The two minutes of the thing, I would make a claim that cost isn't as significant, right? Not looking at any of the numbers, purely based on my assumption. But customer acquisition costs are generally higher than that. So I was like, I don't get it. I know you're trying to board the plane quicker, but I don't think there's any actual value in doing so personally. I think it's all kind of pointless. And then actually, well, I guess I did have some other things. New sports in the Olympics. Do you watch the Olympics anymore, guy? Are you an Olympic minus
Of course
track?
I do. Are you talking flag football as one of the new sports?
Bro, you got cricket, flag football, baseball, softball, lacrosse, and squash. Now, squash I can
Some of
see.
them had been there before.
Yeah, but these are going to be yesterday. Not yesterday. This is a couple weeks ago. The International Olympic Committee officially, quote unquote, greenlit the sports I just mentioned. Right. This is for the 2028 Summer Games in LA. Right, and it's a first for flag football and squash, and a return of cricket and lacrosse, which had a short-lived Olympic debut more than 100 years ago. So it's not like they've been there regularly. And I'm sure the NFL paid a lovely sum of money to get flag football in there. Now, I mean, cricket in the Olympics, man, that's a long sport. Like even baseball and softball, those sports are so long.
Yeah, I imagine
That just
they're
takes
going
up
to
so
kind
much
of
time.
shorten up the games.
Something, man. I mean, squash, I get, because squash, like tennis, but squash is quick, and you can keep it tight in the courts, but also has a global appeal.
I want to get pickleball in the Olympics.
Bro, you see how many pickleball injuries there are these days, dog? Anybody trying to pickle?
Yes, it's the joke. It's orthopedic surgeons' favorite sport.
Bro, I know people in their youths who've torn Achilles plural, multiple people.
Sister, my first day playing, my sister broke her ankle.
See that? Again, are you the one person using Skype?
That's Teams.
Oh. Hold up, you just hung up on your work call to do this, guy, and then you wonder, bro, you're about to lose your job, son. Come on, man. You're about to lose your job, guy. Yeah, go save your employment, take care of your kids, man.
Hey, I'm dedicated, bro. I don't know about you.
No, hold up. You're dedicated to what?
I'm all in.
You're all in on this for the two listeners? Rebecca and Chris Alves for you.
I'm all in. Yeah. I do this for the people.
Yeah. Friggin' moron. Anyway, on that, we'll call it. We'll chat again soon, everybody.
Kaboom.